I can't tell if those symbols on their uniforms are clocks or like a L with a circle in it. Or a circle around it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Link Click. We are on episode 3, but of course we have notes from episode 2 to go over. I also have a board. There we go. Almost perfect size. I guess I should have made it like horizontal. They would really fill out the space better. The board changelog that I have is obviously I added Lin Zen and Yuza. The only real connections there is that Yu is the only other character so far that's had a connection to. I'm saying, is that Zhao? Is that just another way to say Zhao? Hua? Zhao. I'm gonna say Zhao for right now, as she is the client of that episode. Of course, Yu and Lin are romantically involved with one another, and Chang has occupied both of them, which is a really weird way to say that, now that I say that out loud. Yeah, that is the changes, or the additives, rather. And then my notes. Only my partner knows the secret recipe for our most famous dish. Says Yu. And by you, I mean the character Yu, not says Yu. The one who came up with the ingredient that we spend the entire episode trying to locate. Which I suppose brings into question how I'm supposed to think about what each character knows. I don't specifically mean from this episode, but Lu and Chang themselves. On one hand, it feels like the implication is that Lu knows everything that happens inside of 12 hours of a picture he has access to. Given how he has to direct Chang through scenarios and let him know what happens and when. This episode specifically made it seem like Chang knows what the person he's inhabiting knows, given how smooth and without hesitation he's able to talk to Lin about their past and relate to her the way you would. And again, you, the character, not you, the person listening to me talk. Of course, that feels entirely contradictory to the events at the start of episode 1, where Chang has to be directed through some of the most basic aspects of Emma's day-to-day. Though, it would go some ways towards explaining how he could do her job, writing the reports, without any past knowledge of what she does. That way, she doesn't actually need to be an expert in. He doesn't actually need to be an expert in everything he could possibly need to do while occupying a body, as the body would come with whatever skill set the person had. At the same time, he just figures stuff out as he goes. For me, it's my number one question about how dive works. At the moment, anyway. I mean, I'll also indicate towards the end of the last episode where he tricks Lu into the clap and then doesn't know what to say without Lu's involvement. So there may be also just an invisible amount of Lu directing stuff that we just don't hear Lu's voice for. I don't know. So I really focused up on the opening, figured out that the text that flashes in and out is just the song lyrics. Stared at the map that the conspiracy board had, couldn't figure out a thing. Something I did notice was Lu holding a shredded picture and letting it blow away. That could be a clue, especially to all my considerations that Lu is hiding stuff from Chang, specifically the parents thing. If this is related to that, then it's evidence that Lu is doing more than just withholding information. By which I mean, if he's destroying clues, that's more than just not telling a person thing. That is actively Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the name of it is. When you destroy records so that they can't be found out. He is guilty of more if that is what's going on. Lu tells Chang to focus on the recipe and not the small details, while Chang is wondering about what went wrong with Yu and Lin's relationships. I'd argue that that would be a large detail, not a small one. And by the end of the episode, it is the detail that got them on the path to figuring everything out anyways. So I guess in this element, it's a bit that Lu's knowledge of everything that happens doesn't mean that he understands everything that happens. I don't know if it even matters, but having gotten to see the client for episode 2, I'd be interested to know who the client for episode 1 was. Is it possible Chang knows that Lu is hiding stuff from him? That line about staying honest with him was a push towards getting Lu to confess, and the flashes towards what happened with Emma were just a recency biased based red herring. It's only episode 2, so I still haven't figured out where my focus lies on figuring out the two characters out just yet. But the little play fight between them before the start of the dive, I like the implication that while Chang starts messing around with fighter game moves, Lu indicates that he won't play other people's games and changes the game, to rock, paper, scissors, essentially, to win and move on. If the Emma ending is to indicate that changes in time can happen, then Chang as Yu saying to take more pictures could cause more pictures to appear in the future, giving Lu and Chang more options to pick from to dive into. Of course, if the guy from the Emma ending wasn't just a one-off, and I still don't have evidence yet that he's not an enemy of some sort, then that could spell the end of these two as well. Not much of a note, but screw that delivery guy. As I said in the episode, and I'm saying it again. Lin asks, how long has it been since you've gone home? We find out at the end that the secret ingredient comes from Yu's hometown. Very much feels like a hint that, hey, we are running out of the secret ingredient, especially as they are doing a whole inventory thing about what the restaurant needs. No chance that's coming in on any delivery from a mass market company. And again, all that much more confusing since she's the client. That she'd never have been able to figure out the ingredient was the flavor of her hometown's dishes. That is the most confusing aspect of the entire second episode from my end. How she doesn't realize. The last picture that they took is the only one this episode that has a date on it. January 21st at 10:08 p.m. I'm thinking this must be this year, aka 2021, considering that they've worked for 10 years and then fell out. So this goes back to 2011, essentially, the earliest picture. Well, the earliest picture that's in front of their restaurant, not the earliest picture that is them in the dorm room. I don't know what, I guess maybe they said the end of the year. So conceivably that could be 2010 to 2011. If I'm still, the Emma episode essentially told me that I was wrong to do a whole breakdown of times and dates, especially since this episode only had the one date. So clearly I don't need to pay attention to that. Technically, wouldn't the conversation with the cab driver be a change in the timeline? Lu said she just goes home and cries all night. Considering the cabbie is responding to Chang talking to Lu, there's no chance that this is a conversation that she had the first time. I literally have no idea what could come of it, but all it took was one errant text message to get Emma killed, so my guard would be up on everything. Chang's trick, high five, answers the is he there question, at least. He instantly vanished, meaning that he does leave the present to inhabit the body in the past. And my last note here, do you think Chang's last jump, where he oddly tells you about intelligent management design and apps, is what causes her to get into it later when she's trying to branch out the nationwide restaurant chain? That was the consequence of messing with time? Lu deciding not to tell Chang what to say and Chang ad-libbing is what sets into motion them drifting apart years later. I feel like. Because it just seems weird that he says the whole intelligent management design thing back when they're in the dorms, and then she does it later. That feels like it's another change. Again, the whole I would be hesitant or on guard for everything this is one of those things. I'm just reading into it. But then again, I guess Lou was the only one that would know, and the fact that that takes place over 10 years ago implies that maybe nothing did come of it, unless it has to reach the modern time, because again, essentially Emma dies the moment Chang dives into her in the past, that maybe Lin and Yu go back to the hometown, or I guess technically Yu goes back to the hometown and get killed there, because that would be the catch-up, the modern thing. I don't think. Never mind. I think that's a dead-end thought. I don't think that goes anywhere, because I don't think that pans out. Anyway, as I said, that was my final note. And I guess I don't really have all that much more but to jump on in and see what we get in episode 3.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Suicide? Bullshit. Oh, is our landlady gonna get attacked? That dude wasn't blonde. Actually, it looked like Chang. His hand was glowing. What the hell does that mean? That didn't like Chang at all. I was way off. Never mind. So his hand was glowing just for the effect of the scene. Xiao Xiao? Okay, that's how you say it. If your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough. I didn't get to the end of that. I appreciate, though, that the focus that I gave the Emma situation has literally come up every episode so far. Like, not massively, but, you know, last episode, Lou was looking at the news report of Emma when Chang was like, about, you know, not keeping secrets. And then this episode is starting with Emma. So the fact that the show is focusing on it as an element that we need to pay attention to is at least reinforcing my thoughts that this is not some random stalker guy, but is in fact enemy action. the fact that that architect's hand was glowing made me think that, oh, here's another person with powers. And the fact that Lou grabbed him by the wrist and not his hand made me think something was going on there for a moment.
哎，这照片不就是我前几天刚帮人洗的吗？神婆倒挺会招揽生意，说来听听吗？
委托人当时是校篮球队的替补兼校报摄影记者。
这是我们最后一场比赛前的合影，那是我人生中最难忘的一天。输了比赛，错过初恋，最后还跟我妈大吵了一架。所以，我想给过去的他们各自带
So you want to change time?
来弥补我留下的遗憾。
这个要求，你看可以吗？
Feels like this is the one thing Lou's against doing.
带话，这搞不好会影响过去。你确定没问题吗？
这次没有关系，并不会改变结果。
Well, that's disappointing. But then again, you would only know that for 12 hours. What if it changes things after 12 hours? Unless that's not the rule, and that's just something I made
好
up.
了，都打起精神，赢了这一场，我们就能去县里比赛了。好。陈潇，你就在场边待着，替补就你一个，万一谁受伤，得靠你顶上。在场下没事的时候，就做做热身，时刻保持运动状态。
哎呀，今年真走运啊！开局就抽到支临时组的杂牌军。哼，特地从县里跑到这种小地方来比赛。
What is the name of that basketball anime?
太破了吧！
Feels like this is one of those.
就是啊，会打一半塌了吧？
The only sports anime I've watched is Hajime no Ippo.
都已经反客为主了，看来这场比赛注定无趣。
陈潇，在，别忘记照相，要拍得风风光光，登报后让全校都关注到我们。
He's wearing his glasses. Why is the vision blurry?
我可是专业的。
Or the glasses just suck. Oh, no, he's got his own vision. Is that the case?
我不是近视，戴眼镜反而看不清，明明摘了。
比赛没你什么事，给我老老实实坐满全场。
That's interesting. I was literally just thinking, is he beholden to his own physical ability? But it seems like he has his own physicality
别被他带来
in the body he's occupying.
保持联防，打阵地战。
哎呀，看也看不清，动也不能动，快把老子逼疯了！
等比赛结束，把话带到，第一个任务就完成了。在此之前，什么都别干。
身为校报记者，
I don't know how long a basketball game lasts.
陈潇，别打闪光灯。走了。
Well, that's a pretty fucking dick move.
陆哥，我刚才是不是影响了历史轨迹啊？
你的确改动了原来的进程，但结果并没有发生变化。
I mean, I would be more concerned that you may have just ruined the captain's timeline.
打闪光，我被晃了眼才撞上的，这犯规不能算在我头上。抱歉啊，队长，我一时大意。你的膝盖没事吧？
别在意，就算不是你，估计他也会使别的阴招。你先替我一会儿。
So, I mean, what if it turns out Captain can never play again for the rest of his life?
在此之前，靠你了。
喂，陆哥，这也在计划之内吗？我到底是上还是不上啊？
过去已经被你打乱，在输掉比赛这个节点发生之前的事，我已经无法预知。
You literally just said it doesn't change anything. I must have misheard him.
我会加油的。
哼，主力换替补，干脆投降算了。
都滚回自己的位置上去。
糟了！
I mean, I'm not anticipating that Chang is going to be a master basketball player.
换回
Maybe I was completely wrong. And I record these live, and in the chat, Phil Fisher is pointing out that they're bothered by the fact that these hoops don't have nets. I didn't say anything before, but I mean, look at the rest of the of this gym. This place is cracked up and falling apart. This is a very run-down gym. The weirdness here is that the other guy stopped cheating all of a sudden, so that you could do a flash forward.
你小子可以啊，估计平时没少偷偷练。
Okay, the problem here is that you're going to leave this guy's body, and he's going to start sucking at basketball.
没问题，包在我身上。程教师，别得意忘形了，比赛结果不能改变。
但也不能光靠我一个人嘛，是不是？
程小师，你的任务不是打赢篮球赛，见好就收。
啊，知道了。
Okay. The point of it doesn't change anything means you can't let it change anything. Except that you already have, because again, the captain isn't going to be there when the win happens. Why is it so important that they lose? If time has already been changed, I wonder.
怎么还反向跑位啊？篮球是团队的竞技，陈潇刚才是故意往禁区外跑，吸引对方注意，拉开空当，给你们创造得分机会。
原来如此，陈潇不光会单打独斗，还能运筹帷幄、调兵遣将，太厉害了！
I mean, this guy is getting upped by everything he does. You're failing into victory. It's pretty funny.
陈潇，你这传球不亚于魔术师约翰逊啊，真是妙啊！你放心传，我们会积极跑位来配合你的。好。
怎么会这样？
刚才那球一定是狗屎运。
I can't tell if those symbols on their uniforms are clocks or like a L with a circle in it. Or a circle around it.
继续加油！
这下总行了吧？
电机厂中学请求暂停。
啊！
I guess your school didn't have a cheerleading team.
你给我坐下。
Because they're the only cheerleaders here.
看穿了。
你体力透支严重，技术动作已经变形，好好休息一会儿。啊！刚孝义已经帮我做了应急处理，现在该换我上场了。
Except that they haven't. Captain's gonna push himself too hard. That's gonna change the future.
如果现在不上，可能以后就再也没有机会了。我们镇子本来就不大，能给学校的资源也有限。这篮球馆还是电机厂工人们自己。
So I said this place is run down.
后来厂子关了，爱打球的学生就常跑来玩，学校本来也懒得管，但最近。 校舍，
如果我们能代表学校打出好成绩，是不是就不会把篮球馆拆了？
我们学校从来就没组建过篮球队，你这不是胡闹吗？
不管怎样，请让我们试一下吧。
This is literally one of those movie underdog stories. And Lou is telling him that they have to lose.
篮球梦对他们来说根本就是天方夜谭。
教练，换我上场吧。
什么教练？别忘了我是教化学的，你们这些孩子一个个都怎么了？
It's always the case with these things.
到底意味着什么？
打得不赖嘛，新来的。以后我俩就是拍档了。
随便玩玩，何必当真？
他可不是。每当我把球传给你的时候，都代表了我对你的一份信任。这一辈子，能和值得信任的伙伴在一起，是多么难能可贵的事。
That is a weird tie, but then again, I don't really follow this whole sports metaphor sort of thing, so. Also, this metaphor falls apart if you think that Chang is going to screw Lou over and try to win.
别忘了，你现在还活在过去，活在别人的世界里。知道，我要做的，不正是去弥补他过去所留下的遗憾吗？
Also, Chang already remembers this being an amazing game. Sorry, Qian. Qian already remembers this being an amazing game.
进攻篮板！队长，教练，快换人！队长，别硬撑了。
Again, for the captain, though, this is like the Rudy Karate Kid moment.
队长，你没事吧？我舍不得，我真的舍不得。今天绝不会是你在这里打的最后一场比赛。
You know, except that you have no confirmation from the school that they're going to let you keep a court even if you do win. And you're going to be betraying Lou if you do this. Going against the whole putting your whole trust into somebody thing. Also, who's the woman he's supposed to confess to? Because it's not here. Be great if it was Emma. Tie it all together.
什么？他们滞空这么久？好。
I guess he could technically tie. He said you can't win. He didn't say anything about tying. Would that fulfill the whole complete trust thing? Yeah, I'm gonna say these guys cheating like crazy before, and now they just decided not to.
兄弟，不好意思啊，想过来协防的，没想到踩着你眼镜了。
Joke's on you, I played better without my glasses.
谢谢。抓紧吧。
The whole Michael Jordan thing, right? Michael Jordan. The joke is Michael Jordan plays better when he's sick. I mean, you're tied. But I guess he's gonna send Lou over the edge. Like, what are you doing?
人选择传球。
Literally, we already saw a shot of him just throwing it cross court. So we know he's entirely capable of doing so. Because he's done it once already.
程小时，快发！包夹这个贴补。
Pass it to the other guy who's open. That way you're literally not the one winning it. And not betraying Lou. And it's all up to that guy. Although that still changes time. Oh, wow, okay. I guess I just completely forgot how much time was passing, and I admit that this show has no next time on. Okay. So, we went through a whole thing where we expressed that being on a team together means putting all of your trust into a person. Lou goes through these rules, repeatedly tells you we can't change the future on this one, and then even calls you out on it as it's happening, and then you still do it, breaking that trust. Meanwhile, repeatedly, we are reminded about the whole Emma thing, which is what you broke the rules on last time, and Lou's not griping about it, he's not bringing it up, even though it cost a woman her life. This has to be like a slap in the face to him. Was that a different shot? God, I can't remember the ending anymore. Felt like that shot wasn't in the previous ending credits. Anyway. Yeah. The fact that they ended this episode without it being the end of the dive, that's new. And I don't really know how to take it. Because again, my whole thing about what I said in the notes is I would be on guard for any little change in the timeline. Like again, the conversation that Chang rather has in Lin's body last episode, that the cab driver then talks back to them about, changes that timeline because the cab driver wouldn't have had that conversation because Lin by herself wouldn't be talking to Lou in the future, right? So, does that change anything? I think apparently to this show's not credit description impetus is that minor things don't change things. Things that have consequence do. So, Chang's conversations with the coach, for example, don't change things. But if they win the match, that could change things. Although, again, this would imply that Xian did not take a flash photography picture, which would mean that the captain wouldn't have gotten his leg hurt, which would then mean that he doesn't push himself as hard as he does here. Because my implication here would be the captain pushing himself so hard could cause more of a permanent leg injury, which would affect his future. Like, I think we're beyond the point of not changing the timeline here. I think the timeline has been changed from the click of the camera. Although actually thinking about it, he did take a picture. That's an additional picture that they could go back into and change whatever happens here. Assuming he actually was taking a picture and he wasn't just like activating a flash. I don't know, the implications are heavy, but at the same time, I have constantly asking, is that other guy enemy action, the one who killed Emma? This would be, or I guess next episode actually, next episode would be the one to find that out. I don't know. I am left questioning. I don't know what I'm going to come back with this one on notes about, though. Because this is mostly a basketball episode, and as I keep indicating, I don't know anything about basketball. And to Phil Fisher's comment about the least that they should, or the bare minimum effort would be putting nets on the thing. Again, this, as I said, was a factory that they were just using as a basketball court. Although I guess, to your indication, they're putting baskets and everything up, which is not nothing. They had to put that into concrete. So I guess maybe they just took trash baskets from elsewhere and put it in, and cheapo cost. Because again, the indication is that they're going to get rid of it. So I don't know. I was thinking from the very beginning, this place is so incredibly run down, but I didn't want to make a whole commentary on what maybe the state of China is, because I don't know jack. I know jack all about any of that. So, yeah, I think anything else I've got is going to come into the thoughts next time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. So once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?